So in the previous class we discussed about President, Vice President, then Council of Ministers, then Prime Minister, then Cabinet Committees, then Attorney General of India, then Solicitor General of India, right? I think we didn't started CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Okay, in today's class we will discuss about CAG. Okay, so as I said, we are discussing Union Executives. So in Union Executive we have a President, Vice President, Prime Minister, Council of Minister, what do you call this, AGI, Attorney General of India, as well as the CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Who is he? CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. In simple language, he is an auditor. You know auditor, right? So who is he? He or she, whatever it may be, is an auditor. So Article 148. Article 148 mention about CAG. Okay, like Article, what do you call this, 76 deals with Attorney General of India. So in the same way, Article 148 deals with CAG. Article 148 says that CAG will be appointed by President. CAG will be appointed by whom? President. Remember, CAG as well as what do you call this, Attorney General of India, right, and Prime Minister as well as the Council of Ministers, they are not elected, they are appointed, not nominated also, they are appointed. Appointed by whom? President of India. Okay, so in the same way, CAG will also appointed by President of India. And who will administrate the oath and affirmation of CAG? President of India or any such other person who appointed by President of India on behalf of President to conduct the oath and affirmation to the CAG. Okay, so what is the duration, tenure of CAG? It is 6 years. Please remember, in India, Indian Constitution, 2 constitutional posts are there whose tenure is 6 years. Whose tenure is 6 years. Okay, one is Comptroller and Auditor General of India, that is CAG. Another is Chief Election Commissioner. Chief Election Commissioner. So 2 constitutional posts which are having a tenure of 6 years. So what is the tenure of the CAG? It is 6 year or 65 years, whichever is earlier. Then what does it mean? 6 years it's okay, or 65 years, that is also okay, but whichever is earlier. Okay, here it is a confusion. So what is that? Now take an example. If a person appointed as a CAG at the age of 58, what is the tenure? 58 plus 6? Tenure is 6 years, age is 58. 58 plus 6, how much? 64. So he will retire at the age of 64. Now a person appointed as a CAG at the age of 62. 62 plus tenure 6, how much? 68. No, it should not cross 68. Once a person attains the age of 65, he must resign. Now you understood? If he appointed as a appointed at the age of 58 plus 6, continue till 64. If appointed at the age of what do you call, 59, continue till the age of 63, because 59 plus 6, 65. If appointed at the age of 60, 60 plus 6, 66. At that time his tenure is only for 5 years. Now you understood? That is that meaning. What does it mean? That up to the age of 60 years, whichever is earlier. Either this is earlier or 6 years is earlier. That is the tenure of CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Before that, can he resign? Yes. CAG can resign by submitting the resignation letter to whom? President. Same like Attorney General of India, Prime Minister as well as the Council of Minister. Now, can CAG remove? Yes. CAG can be removed. Okay. CAG can be removed on the same grounds and the same manner of removal of judges of Supreme Court. Okay. In Constitution, it is not mentioned about the removal procedure or the impeachment procedure for Supreme Court judges. Okay, it is not mentioned. And in Constitution, it is also not mentioned on what grounds and what is the procedure to remove the CAG. But remember, CAG will be removed on the same grounds and same method as the removal of judges of Supreme Court. In Supreme Court, we will discuss, okay, how those judges can be removed. Then next, once a person, okay, appointed as a CAG and completed the tenure, after that, that person is not eligible for any kind of appointment. Any kind of appointment in any office under central government or a state government. You are understanding? Right. Once a person retired as a CAG, then again that person cannot be appointed or cannot be given any government office. Either it is a central government or a state government, or that person cannot be appointed in the central government or a state government office. Once a person retired or completed the tenure and office is ceased to be operated. And the salary and the service of condition of CAG will be determined by whom? President. So at present, the salary of CAG is equal to the salary of judges of Supreme Court. Okay. Removal also equal to the judge of Supreme Court, even the salary also. The next, the condition of service of person who is serving in Indian Audit and Account Department and the administrative power of CAG are prescribed by whom? President. In short, we have one department, Indian Audit and Account Department. The department is there. Okay. So what are those condition of service in the department? Rules and regulations, the people who are working in the department, okay, how they need to work, what are the condition of services, all those things, and the administrative power of CAG will be determined by whom? President, after consultation with the CAG. Okay, CAG will give recommendation to the president that so and so put certain conditions for service, or so and so make it as a administrative power of the CAG. Okay, and next, the expenses of the CAG, administrative expenses of the CAG, including the salary, allowance, pensions of a person who is serving under the office of CAG. CAG, one single person, but it is having office with a multiple employees. Okay. So the office of the CAG plus the people who are working under the CAG office, they are having certain salary and they are getting certain pensions. So salary and pensions will be drawn from the consolidated fund of India. Remember this. The salary will be drawn from consolidated fund of India. Then no minister can represent the CAG in Parliament. Okay, what does it mean? And no minister can be called upon to take any responsibility for any action done by him. Okay. So ministers are there, right? CAG is there. CAG will submit the report. Okay. So that report will submit it to whom? President. President again that will let down that report before the Parliament. Here ministers won't involve. Okay. Ministers won't involve, and CAG is unable to come. No problem. Minister can come and represent the CAG, right? There is certain things, but there is no such thing. For example, we discuss in president impeachment. If during investigation, if president is unable to come, president can send a representation, right? Rather than the president, some other person will go. So in the same way, if CAG is unable to come, can minister will come on behalf of CAG? No, there is no such thing. You are understanding? And whatever the action taken by the CAG, okay, minister does not have any responsibility. In short, CAG as a person has to submit the report. Okay, minister cannot be a representative of the CAG. That doesn't mean. Okay, so who will appoint the CAG? President. Now, Article 148 we discussed, that is President will appoint the CAG, removal, services. Okay, then Article 149. Article 149 deals with the power, function, duties of CAG. What CAG will do? In Constitution it is not at all mentioned what are the functions or duty or roles and responsibility of the CAG. In Constitution it is not mentioned, please remember. In Constitution it is not at all mentioned. In Constitution it is mentioned that under Article 149, Parliament has a power to determine the duties and responsibilities of CAG. Who is having a power? Parliament is having a power to determine the duty and responsibility of the CAG. So Parliament enacted one act. Parliament has enacted one act. What is that act? that is CAG, Duty, Power and Condition of Service Act 1971. That act was enacted. In that act it is mentioned about the duties, roles and responsibility of CAG. Okay, but in Constitution it is not at all mentioned, as I mentioned earlier. Remember this point, in Constitution it is not mentioned. The function and duties of CAG is mentioned in CAG Act 1971. Then same Act 1971, it was amended and made a certain changes. What is that? It has separated the accounts from audit. See, accounting is different, auditing is different, right? First they do the accounting transaction and all those things. After that they audit, cross check. Okay, so by this amendment in the year 1976, accounts were separated from audit. Now what CAG will do? We say that CAG is the auditor, Comptroller and Auditor of Comptroller. We discuss CAG is the auditor. What he audit? That is a question. So where it is mentioned? Is it mentioned in Constitution? No, it is mentioned in Act. So what he can do? What are the accounts he can audit? He can audit the accounts which are related to the expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India, Contingency Fund of India. Okay. Student, remember, at central level we have a Consolidated Fund of India, Contingency Fund of India and Public Accounts of India. Okay. At state level also we have a Contingency Fund of India and Contingency Fund of State and Consolidated Fund of State. So those funds are there, right? So those funds accounts will be audited by whom? CAG. Expenditure will be there from that fund, that will be audited by CAG. Apart from that, there are certain union territories which are having legislature. For example, Pondicherry we have, or Puducherry we have, and Delhi we have. The Jammu and Kashmir is also having a legislature, right? So certain union territories who are having legislature, so that union territory is also having the Consolidated Fund of UT. So that fund will also audited by whom? CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General of India. You are understanding? In simple language, CAG will audit the Consolidated Fund of India, State, UT, Contingency Fund of India, State as well as UT, and Public Accounts of India. Okay. Yes, ma'am. We will discuss in the coming classes. We will discuss. Okay, in Parliament topic only we have Consolidated Fund of India, Contingency Fund of India. Generally, Contingency Fund of India, it is for unforeseen expenditure. For example, any natural disaster occur, right? At that time, fund will be given from that fund to the public, and President will give. And Consolidated Fund of India, central government. Okay, so whatever the tax received by the central government, it will credited to that fund. Okay, so that is a big fund actually. From that fund only central government income is also there, as well as expenditure is also there. Okay, so those income and expenditure, what are the related expenditure are there, that will be audited by our CAG.